Before this video starts, I want to add a trigger warning. Some of this content might be offensive, or just hearing the name Sneako might be offensive to you. And although I like watching Sneako for reasons I'll explain in the video, not all of my ideals align perfectly with his. This is your chance to click off the video now before I say something that offends you. Now with that warning out of the way, let's get into the video. I know that depending on what I tell this video, it's gonna anger some of you. Well, the ones who know who Sneako is. I can already see you furiously typing in the comments that I'm just part of his incel army without even watching the video. Yeah, I can see you. Stop typing and finish watching my video. And if you can't do that, well, thanks for the view, I guess. For those of you who don't know who Sneako is, you're probably familiar with the person that he's compared to the most, Andrew Tate. I know, no one likes the misogynistic incel king that is Andrew Tate, but he was my first introduction to Sneako. I had no idea who Andrew Tate was, so I started looking into his videos and TikToks to try and see why everyone hated him so much. And I eventually stumbled across a TikTok clip from Sneako's stream. Side note, one thing I like about Sneako is that he allows his community to clip his rants and post them on TikTok. It's a win-win because the people who post his TikToks get an almost guaranteed viral video if the video doesn't get taken down for hate speech. And Sneako gets exposure for his YouTube channel from all the people watching his TikToks wondering who this outspoken, loudmouth, misogynistic incel is.
If you don't handle me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my da-da-da-da.
It clearly worked on me, otherwise I wouldn't be making this video. So let's unpack why the general public hates Sneako by first looking into a bit of his history. Sneako has two channels, Sneako and Sneako. The first channel, his main channel, is relatively unimportant in the context of this video, although there are some points you should be aware of. First, Sneako makes no effort to hide what he's truly feeling about something, whether that something was a quote-unquote good or bad opinion in the eyes of his audience, with titles like, Why Still Listen to Artists Who Beat Women, or a truly disgusting one like, I Have a Confession, Cuties is my new favorite film. He showed his audience that he was unapologetically himself, and that he didn't care what people thought about him or his opinions. That last title though, something I don't want to repeat because of how gross it is, leads me on to another point. The Sneako channel helped him understand how to craft the perfect title and thumbnail. Because he knew that talking about something against the norm gets clicks, he focused his channel on that, making videos like the one I just mentioned, and other videos focusing on controversial topics. He switched his content up from sitting in his room and complaining about something, to actually going out on the street and directly asking people questions about these sorts of topics, and this is what finally broke him. Sneako couldn't handle dealing with these, in his words, bots, who kept saying the same things over and over again while arguing with him over these topics, so he switched his focus over to his live channel, Sneako. He posts on this channel 4 times a day on average, but on rare occasions he can post up to 7 times a day. Sneako's content on this channel is what most people would call red pill content. He basically spends hours of his time every day yelling at his camera to anyone who will listen. The reason he's blown up so quickly is because of what he yells about, and how he goes about making his opinion known, opting to react to political topics such as transgenderism, feminism, and abortion, and taking an extremely conservative stance. The main channel Sneako reacts to is called It's Complicated, a channel that does what Sneako used to do, interview random people on the street, mainly focusing on asking women questions that will invoke a feminist response. The reason this channel caught Sneako's eye is the way It's Complicated asked his questions. Using the Socratic method, It's Complicated was able to ask thought-provoking questions that often cause the interviewee to take another look into why they believe what they do.
Do you trust your man around other women?
I do. I don't think she does.
I don't have a man, but if I did, probably not.
Do you trust other women around your man?
Never. Even more so than him around other women.
I'm just a trusting person.
If women don't even trust other women, why do they expect a man to trust women?
Ooh, that kind of got me there. Yeah, that was deep.
Sneako is eating up this content, calling all the women bots because, honestly, they would answer similarly, if not the same as other women that were interviewed. This oftentimes left Sneako to guess what many of the women were saying before they said it, and adamantly reiterating that he had not seen the video beforehand.
Who is better at self-improvement, men or women?
Men, but they're all gonna say women.
Women.
Self-improvement, definitely women.
Okay, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10.
I'm a 10, I'm a 10, I'm a 10. Let's see, like, they literally are about to be hypocrites in the first sentence. Women are better at self-improvement, but I'm already perfect. And know this because they all think the same thing. Listen.
Hands across the board. Oh, period.
Okay.
And they don't even realize the irony of that statement. They just so proudly look at the fucking lack of self-awareness and just all the pride on their faces from Instagram.
Some of the responses that were given during these interviews were just downright horrendous, like this one.
If women weren't slut-shamed and were actually celebrated for being a slut, would they still play hard to get?
Yes.
Why?
Because you can get more money out of them if you play hard to get.
Sneako would often go on a rant about how women were just sucking up masculine energy, that they didn't know what they wanted, how they were always living in la la land, that you should focus on yourself, and other very heated, opinionated things. To be honest, this is what drew me into this content in the first place. Sneako is so apologetically himself all the time and points out the inconsistencies and double standards in quote-unquote Western women. His words, not mine. He has no problem stating what he believes is true, even if the entire platform is against him. YouTube is even striking down his live streams mid-broadcast for hate speech.
I know the government lied.
They lied about the Vietnam War. They lied about the Iraq War. They lied about World War II. They lied about the cocoa over and time again. A lot of it you can't.
Which, to be honest, isn't that far from the truth. Although what Sneako says is controversial, he has a right to his own opinion, even if people don't agree with it, something that many people seem to have forgotten nowadays. My problem isn't necessarily with what he's saying, but how he's saying it. Sneako staying true to himself is a quality that I admire, but it's also a quality that's caused him to come off as a bit narcissistic. He looks down on anyone who doesn't share the same beliefs as him, often making fun of their appearance. It started off small with the whole eyelash thing, then eventually started making fun of overweight people by jokingly calling them queens or saying that they were brave, which I understand is him making fun of the whole body positivity trend that's engulfed our culture, but it still doesn't give him the right to call them whales.
Stop putting the whales, chat. Chat, that's not funny. That's disrespectful. You're hurting my feelings. She's brave. She's so brave. She's a queen. Yes, queen. Yes, support you. Yeah, show that off. Show that body off. Are you kidding me? Stop with the burger emojis is crazy, chat.
More recently, Sneako's moving a little bit away from the It's Complicated channel and delving even deeper into controversial political topics, choosing to react to more conservative content from the likes of Steven Crowder, Matt Walsh, and his very weird one-sided relationship with Brett Cooper.
You do a video with that Sneako. He's gone super viral for red pill anti-woke. I've seen his stuff on TikTok. I think I knew that he had done a reaction. I've seen some comments about it, but I've seen some of his videos and he's dope.
Chat, she said I'm dope! I'm dope! I did it! We did it! I thought she just said happy birthday! Brett!
Again, we see the same trend of Sneako making fun of people for how they look. The point where even I had to step back and say to myself, this is a bit too much, was when in his Why There Are Only Two Genders video, he made fun of a trans woman's disabled child.
Chat, stop saying the kid's off of perk 30. That's so disrespectful, bro.
I understand it's in Sneako's personality to be loud and make fun of people, and although that's okay in moderation, what will never be okay is making fun of a disabled child. Usually Sneako's chat will call him out if he does something wrong, like having no feed on his camera or if he creates a scam, something I'll cover later in the video. But his chat has the same sense of humor as he does, so instead of checking Sneako on jokes that go a bit too far, they often encourage his behavior. Seeing as they were the ones who started making fun of the child in the first place, and continued to make fun of him so they had a small chance that their favorite streamer would notice them. It's honestly extremely disappointing, but what's even more troubling is that Sneako edges this stuff on by laughing and acknowledging it, something that again can be fine in moderation and to the appropriate target, but maybe one that's not a disabled child.
Someone in the chat, not me, said this kid's got unspoken risk, bro.
To people who are different. So it was a question of,
Safe to say that given Sneako's history and beliefs, many people don't like him. He's had beef with many big names such as Destiny, Gideon, and D'Angelo Wallace, often publicly calling them out or debating with them. I want to bring your attention though to a video Sneako reacted to live on stream by a YouTuber that goes by Signified B-Sides. I'm gonna skip past all the insults Sneako threw at him because there were a lot of them, and instead focus on this clip from the video.
You know what this bitch said? She said that men are only valuable for their wallets. So what I'm saying is a natural response, and that fucking Healthy Boys Only conveniently clipped it out. She's like, what do men have to bring to the table if women are the prize? She says, their wallets.
That clip he showed, as Sneako so adamantly pointed out, was taken out of context, and there was no way he doesn't know that because he had to have watched the video to find the clip, where he would have seen that her response to the question posed was that men were wallets.
So if the woman is the prize, what would that make the man?
The wallet.
Not to mention the fact that she has a podcast called Kill All Men, but that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say is that some people take Sneako's clips out of context, and try to twist the clip to fit the narrative that Sneako is just a misogynistic incel who screams at random videos or people on the internet. When in reality, Sneako is just tired of people telling him what he can and cannot say, while other people get to go around and say whatever they want, because they're reiterating what society wants from them. I don't think it's fair to hate on a person that you haven't taken the time to watch yourself, much less wish harm fall onto them, which is something that Twitter did when Sneako posted his tweet saying that he got jumped. There were hundreds of comments praising the situation and celebrating the moment, until Sneako got on stream and took the makeup off. I remember watching that video and feeling bad for him, until he pulled out his cigar and started laughing. Unfortunately, my opinion on this situation was the minority, but it made me and the rest of his community realize that wishing harmful onto someone you don't like is wrong, no matter who it's to. It's the same type of situation as when Jeffree Star got into a car accident. No matter what your opinion on a person, agree or disagree with their stances, you shouldn't celebrate their lows. Remember that scam I mentioned? Me neither, because I almost finished writing the outro to this video when I remembered I said I was going to cover it. One thing I admire about Sneako is how he wants his audience to succeed the same way he did. Something he said that really resonated with me is that instead of scrolling through TikTok or watching a bunch of YouTubers, I should make the platform work for me. Which, to be honest, is the reason I started uploading on this channel again. Sneako wants his audience to get off their lazy bums and start working, which is why he lets his viewers clip his content and post it on TikTok, something I mentioned at the beginning of this video. It's the reason why the hashtag Sneako on TikTok has over 1 billion views without him ever having posted on the app. Sneako wants you to get to where he is now. That's why he launched his Creativity Kit, an online course where Sneako teaches you how to be successful online. Just like him, with a one-time payment of $245 of course. Yeah, I'm not paying $245 to anyone, especially for something that isn't fully released yet. Although to be honest, it might have already gone live by the time this video is out. Seeing courses like Jake Paul's and Ninja's detail how to be a successful content creator that ultimately turn out to be full of air and not being helpful in the slightest have put a sour taste in my mouth when it comes to influencer online courses. I know there are exceptions like Marquez Brownlee's course on cameras and the technology surrounding them, but personally, I don't think I want the advice that Sneako's willing to give me, and especially not at that price point. YouTube's a very luck-based career path, and although there are different things you can do to increase your luck, an online course is not going to help you very much with that. I believe that there might be some valuable information in the course, but you can't really teach luck, especially when it comes to YouTube. In my opinion, it's better to learn from watching other people's content and following the trends than to pay for a class that teaches you how to slightly increase your luck, which is why everyone in the chat is calling this a scam. I know the video kind of jumped around in time there towards the end. I apologize for that. I just wanted everything to flow smoothly, and I thought that was the best way to go about it. I know there are some areas in Sneako's life that I didn't cover, like how he cheated on his ex or how he was in a polyamorous relationship, but to be honest, I didn't really think that was relevant to the narrative I was trying to cover. In the case of Sneako, it's better if you watch his content so that you can form your own opinion of him organically. Sneako has over 9 years of content on this platform, and he's just a guy with a different mindset than everyone else, and that's okay, no matter what everyone else will try and tell you to believe. What isn't okay is how he chooses to express those beliefs. Sneako has said many times before on stream how lucky he is being born mixed, because people can't label him as a racist or a Trump supporter and move on from his content. They instead have to resort to calling him an incel. If it were anyone but Sneako saying the things he's currently saying and making fun of streamers who don't agree with him in the same harsh, insulting fashion, he would have been cancelled by now. His chat is insanely loyal and shares his sense of humor, but also calls him out when he makes a mistake, for the most part. They worship him and will do anything to grab his attention, which causes Sneako's ego to be inflated as he asks a chat full of like-minded people for their opinion on a topic. Sneako's tendency to lean more towards controversial videos has given him a boost in popularity from people who both love and hate his content. The question is, just how long will that last?